we see very strong participation with applications per posting rising over 10% over the year. So labor availability is high, and I think that's one reason companies keep adding workers. It's becoming easier to hire them. And you see that in the wage growth data today, which is really a sort of a great thing to see in this Goldilocks report. It shows a strong labor market, but
Yeah.
where wages are not overheating. This is not necessarily an inflationary report.
Who's hiring out there, Julia? Where are the areas that are seeing some strength?
So, that the answer to that question has been very boring lately. We see the same industries leading in month-over-month growth, year-over-year growth, again and again and again. And it's those acyclical industries, healthcare, the public
Yep.
sector, and leisure and hospitality. But recently, in just the last month or two, we are starting to see signs of life in the sectors that were struggling before: retail, manufacturing, construction. So the rolling recession could be turning into a rolling recovery.
So, Julia, you folks at ZipRecruiter, I mean, you see this data real time here. How has it evolved over the past couple of years in terms of people signing up to ZipRecruiter? What are they looking for? How long are they there? What's the feeling from employers? How's that evolved over the past couple of years?
Well, every US employer at the same time was scrambling to hire in a big hurry, and it was more competitive than ever before between about mid 2021 to late 2022. And then, of course, with the Fed's supersized rate hikes, everyone became quite cautious and worried. Employers were worried there'd be a downturn. They
Right.
didn't want to overhire into a downturn. And so we saw quite a
Right.
change. And for 20 months, we've seen a
Right.
sort of a downward slide in online job postings. But that's turned around the last 2 months.
Julia, you remember my new heroine. Paul, frame this out. Not only your experience at Rand and her public service with the United States Navy, she was smart enough. Think of all the fancy people we talk about who go to places where it rains 30 days a week. She's out of Pepperdine, which is like the smartest
man.
place to go to college if you want. Julia, are you advantaged in your analysis of the American labor economy because you're not in 3 zip codes of New York or 2 zip codes of Washington, D.C.? Are you advantaged because you know which pool to swim in at Pepperdine?
I do think it helps to be at a remove from Washington, D.C. sometimes and Wall Street, and to have sort of an outsider's perspective. And of course,
Okay.
The sunny California sunshine does help one to be an optimist.
Oh, really? I didn't know that. Okay,
It
I
doesn't
hate her,
influence the betting
Lisa.
against the U.S. economy.
We've had a biblical deluge here. Just very quickly, Julia, this is important. The overlay Paul and I are seeing is immigration and legal and illegal migration matter. How do you fold those in at ZipRecruiter?
Well, Ernie Tedeschi has fantastic research on this recently, and he shows that our employment growth in the U.S. here would have been much stronger than that in Europe, even absent immigration. But immigration likely explains about 20% of it. By some estimates, 3.3 million immigrants came into the United States in 2023, well above the 1.1 million that had been predicted before. So this is a huge source of labor supply, but also immigrants buy services and goods, and so they prop up consumer spending and revenues of businesses and hiring.